Tackle Junkies, what's going on, everyone? Really appreciate you guys and gals for clicking on the video. Big Mike and I are on the board. All right, today is March 4th, 2024. I do believe I'm tied for last year. I think I got on the board last year on the 4th. Big Mike got on the board last year on February 28th. So Mike fell a little bit behind.
Yeah.
But I'm tied for last year. I think the year before, I think was either March 4th as well, and the year before that was like March 7th. So I'm all right around the same time. Mike's a slacker, you know, he's a week behind. Anyways, both on the board. And we didn't catch, you know, tanks today. I mean, I'm not here to brag. I mean, I caught 10. Mike caught one little guy at the end of the day, you know. And we'll get into his catch at the end of the day. Like, I'm not trying to brag on my 10 versus his 1 versus my 10. You know, I'm not trying to brag on it. I'm just saying. But I did catch 10.
My 1 was bigger than half your 10.
What?
My 1 was bigger than half of yours.
Well, I mean, I caught a few the same size as yours, you know, but we're talking numbers here.
You got a few the same size as your spinnerbait.
But, totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So I didn't really want to make this video on the fish catches, like I said, because they're not giants, but we're going to cycle them through, I'm sure, while we're talking sometime throughout the video. But what really stood out to me today, okay, Mike, you guys know he's not a bad fisherman. He usually outfishes me for the most part, right? But that's because I'm power fishing. Mike's usually picking his butt, doing his thing, which we'll get into, right? But usually finesse usually wins, at least for where we're fishing. How I fish, how he fishes, he's usually whipping me, right? He made some type of smart comment the other day that he was just gonna whip me today, right? And I said, dude, if I can ever get a day the camera's off, right? Because when the camera's running, I'm usually focused more on a video, not so much catching fish. And this year I'm trying to like reverse that, get the fish caught and then focus on the video. So like I said, I knew today's audio would be trash. It was so windy out there today. So I was basically focused on fishing. And I had on spinnerbait. Had on, we'll get to it, had on a Booyah spinnerbait. Mike ties on the exact same spinnerbait as me. And we're dang near fishing like side by side.
Yeah.
I would move down a little bit, he'd move down a little bit, but we're in the same area, right? And like I said, I caught, on the spinnerbait, you know, I caught 10, and Mike caught 0, right? He didn't catch his one fish till the end of the day. But still, 10-0, same bait, right? Same bait, literally right by each other, okay? So I'm thinking to myself, because I know Mike can catch them, right? I'm trying to think to myself, what's the deal here? I would even get out of my spot. Mike would go in my spot, wouldn't catch a fish. He'd leave, I'd go there and catch fish. So it's like, what is going on here? So I'm starting to examine his setup. And he had 2 issues, I think, at least compared to mine, right? For one, I guess, where's your setup, Mike? Get over there. So, start off with, let's start with the bait, okay, the bait itself. You know what's funny? I have so many spinnerbaits. I have a lot of high dollar spinnerbaits, but this one right here, all right, and it's no surprise to you guys hear me talk about this one all the time. This is just your standard Booyah spinnerbait. That golden shiner, you guys know, is killer over there at the ponds. Double gold willow, okay? Same one Mike had on. Well, like I said, I have so many spinnerbaits, but for whatever reason, this one always catches them. And no matter who I bring over to those ponds, right, they know this is the color. Whether it be my buddy Mike Watts or whoever, they're tying on this color. They know this spinnerbait gets bit over there. Mike knows as well. But like I said, it did not work for him today. But you guys know, like I said, you can pick these up over there at Lurenet, code TJ81. I'll have a link down below, pop it up on the screen for you guys. Code TJ81 gets you guys 15% off over there. The entire website, a bunch of cool brands over there. Use the code, save a few bucks. Definitely pick this one up though. Killer little spinnerbait. I've been using this spinnerbait for, gosh, probably 20 years. This is one of the first ones I bought, and to this day, I still use it. Awesome little spinnerbait here. But first thing I noticed was Mike's using a faster reel, okay? And I was using a spinnerbait and I was using a bladed jig. Was using the new Evo, Z-Man Evo. And I probably could review that bait right now. I didn't catch any fish on it today, but I kind of know what I'm looking for as far as like comparing that bladed jig to others. And it's definitely a winner. Like I said, I could probably do a review right now. I know what I need to know as far as, you know, how it fishes. But I'd like to get a few fish on it first before I put out the review. But it's definitely a solid bait, okay, for sure. But bladed jig, I had a reel a bit too fast. A spinnerbait, those blades give it lift, right? And of course you can put on a swim bait if you want even more lift. But I had more than enough lift just with the blades alone, and I could reel it slower. So I didn't get any bites at all on the bladed jig. Like I said, I think I was just reeling it too fast. So I thought about that, and I thought about the speed Mike was using. He was using a, what do you got?
7.3.
The 7.3, okay? I'm using a 6.5. And I was just kind of creeping mine along. Now, the more I caught, the more excited I was getting. I was probably reeling too fast, right? But in the beginning, I knew water's cold. It's probably upper 40s maybe. Water's cold. I'm just creeping it along. And I'm with a 6.5 here, okay? 6.5, Mike's 7.3. And he's reeling pretty steady, much faster than me. Okay, so for one, he's reeling too fast. And it could be a combination of both things here. But the other difference is I'm running, that's 15 pound. This is Seaguar Basics, okay? It's a fluorocarbon line, sinking line. Mike is running, that's 17 pound. That's Suffolk Siege. It's a mono. So it's a bigger diameter. It's a mono line, so it's a floating line. So not only was Mike reeling faster, much faster than me, so his bait's coming in much faster, it's also riding higher. Bigger diameter line with a floating line, it's staying up higher in the water column. So again, it could be one or the other, reeling too fast, or the bait's just too high. And like I was telling you, you know, I was creeping it along, getting hit right at the bank. And right at the bank, when you would normally speed it up to pull it in, that's where they were hitting. You really needed to just creep it along. So I just do believe that you were just reeling just too dang fast, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard when you're not getting bit, which, I mean, I can imagine how hard it was for him because he didn't get bit all day. All day he did not get a bite, you know. I can imagine how hard it would be for him to slow down, you know, because, you know, the longer you go without a bite, you tend to reel faster. So by the end of the day, he was like, you know, he was reeling so fast because it's been so long since he had a bite, right? But I just really wanted to make this video for you to keep that in mind, right? Line, the type of line that you use, line diameter, speed of the reel, it all plays a role. And that's kind of what separates, you know, one guy from the next. Like, take me first, you know, this joker right here. I'm looking at the little details, right? I'm looking at the speed, the line, the diameter, not so much the pound test, the diameter. Mono has a much bigger diameter than fluorocarbon, plus you're running a 17 pound test, you know. Seaguar has a very small diameter, 15 pounds, so the pound test alone is smaller, but the diameter is way smaller than what you're using, you know. So, Mike's a tournament guy. I mean, he's not thinking of all this stuff. You know, he's got a tournament next week. Hopefully he thinks of some of the stuff next week, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you're just waiting until next week to think about it. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm afraid.
But anyways, guys, I just wanted to throw that out there. Pay attention to your gear, to your line. It all plays a role in catching more fish, you know. And he might have caught fish with this combo, okay? He didn't. He caught 0 fish with this combo.
I didn't get hit. I got hit once.
But, you know, he might have caught 1 or 2, but he would have caught more maybe if he was using a slower reel and, you know, smaller diameter line, a sinking line. You just never know. But I mean, it could have just came down today to just overall fishing skills. you know, the better guy won. I mean, you know, there's a lot of different ways to look at this, but that's definitely one way to look at it. Guys, you know, we're just having some fun here. All those are facts. I mean, Mike straight up got whipped today. But definitely keep that in mind, right? Let's go over the combos. I know you guys like the gear. Let's go over the combos. All right. And guys, that's something else I want to mention. You guys love the gear talk, okay? And you guys may or may not know, I did partner with Monster Bass, okay? I know some of you guys like the subscription boxes, some of you guys don't. But what I'm more talking about in those videos, I got 2 out so far, and I can link them down below. But what I'm more talking about in those videos is the gear being used for the baits. Maybe how to rig them and things like that. So with those boxes, you're getting a variety of different lures. So each video is going to be, you know, new rigging options, new gear, and things like that. So just because you guys don't like the subscription boxes, you know, you still might like the rigging and the gear in those videos. Again, that's more what I focus on. Obviously, I talk about the baits for a minute, but I'm more focused on the gear being used. So if you guys like gear talk, definitely check out those videos, okay? But anyways, for me, I'm using and I only had 2 reels. I haven't spooled anything up yet this year. I only had 2 reels with line on them. Luckily, one of them was my spinnerbait combo, and then I had another one rigged up, which we'll get to. But this one here is the Okuma Serrano, and I do believe this particular rod here is a spinnerbait rod. It's, let's see here, Texas Carolina rig worm stick bait spinnerbait, which is a 610 medium heavy, and it's got more of a moderate fast action to it. It's got a nice soft tip, exactly what I like for my spinnerbaits, and I love the size or the length as well. I like to more target fish with my spinnerbaits, so I'm more accurate with that shorter rod. So I really do like the length here. And like we said, 6'5" in the Serrano reel, and that is 15-pound Seagar Basics, okay? It's one of their, I guess it's their low end fluorocarbon, but don't let the price fool you. This stuff seems to be pretty good. I have not cranked with it yet. I told you guys last year that I would crank with it and really test it out around the rocks. Haven't done that yet, but so far just slinging spinnerbaits, no issues at all. And this line was spooled up, what, mid last year maybe? And I just broke it out now. So I mean, it did have some memory, obviously all line wood that would be spooled up on the reel all winter, but still no issues at all. Performance is great. Definitely check it out if you're looking for a cheaper fluorocarbon, or a cheaper in price fluorocarbon. Definitely check out the Basics there. But that was the combo, and I guess really we won't even talk about the bladed jig since I didn't catch any fish on it. But I tell you what, keep a lookout for review, because I do believe the Evo is going to be a winner for sure. Let me get a few fish on it, then we'll do a review, but I think you guys are going to like what I have to say about it. And Mike, what didn't you catch any fish on?
So I'm using
the Booyah spinnerbait.
Booyah spinnerbait.
That's just a killer.
I love this thing.
It is. It's just a killer spinnerbait, man.
I'm using the Lew's Custom Light, medium heavy.
Custom light, yeah.
Action.
He's got the custom light here, medium heavy, fast. This we've talked about this before. That power and action, medium heavy, fast, super versatile rod. He asked me today, you know, what rod should I bring to be versatile? Right there, power and action, medium heavy, fast, spinnerbaits, Texas rigs, jigs, flukes, Senkos. I mean, you name it. It's a good do-all type rod. He's got the Hakai on there in the 7.3, which we realize is too fast probably for spinnerbaits. And I guess it's not that it's too fast, but when you're using a fast reel, whether it be a 7-speed or an 8-speed, you have to, like, at least for me, I have to tell myself, all right, I have a fast reel. Just because I'm just used to, like, throwing out, I just have that, what do you call that?
Muscle memory?
I don't know if it's muscle memory, it's like cadence or something like that. Like I'm just used to reeling like this speed. So I use the reel to slow me down. Sometimes I'll go to a 5-speed when I really need to go slow, just because I know I'm going to reel at a certain speed, right? But I was even telling myself today with the 6.5, go slower, right? So if you're using a fast reel and you need a reel slow, at least for me, I have to tell myself to slow down. You probably weren't doing that.
I try to match myself with your speed, Because I thought you were using.
And see, that's a perfect example. That's a rookie for you right there.
I thought we were using the same.
He was trying to match my speed, not knowing my reel is much slower than his, right? And when I say slow, you also need to look at inches per turn because they might be pretty close, right? But typically a slower reel is going to bring in less line, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, he had the Hakai on there, 7.3, and again, that's 17-pound Suffolk Siege mono on there. So, I mean, really is a big difference between the two, you know. So, but Mike did catch the one fish. He's got his combo over there. You guys have seen it plenty of times. Go ahead and grab it, Mike. Let's go and talk about it real fast.
Take a wild guess on what it is.
So Mike's one bass came on the Sakushi bug. We'll talk about the rig here in a second. But on the Sakushi bug, okay? And here's why I'm saying this bass really don't even count, okay?
Yeah.
Because it was like one of the last casts of the day, right?
It's windy. I'm not feeling anything.
Oh yeah, it's super windy. Mike ain't paying attention at all. He's talking to me, he's on his phone, and the bait's just sitting there, right? So I mean, like I told him on the way home, I could have made the cast, gave the rod to a toddler, and he would have caught the same fish, right? So I mean, does it really count? This goes back to last year when we were saying, Mike's just standing there picking his butt, picking his nose, and catching fish, because this rig, you just throw it out, basically let it sit because the plastic floats, and you get bit. But like I said, he gave up on a spinnerbait, went to his confidence, and he caught a fish. So that's the main thing today. We didn't want to go out and get a big fat W. We got, and guys, if you're new to the channel, W does not mean you won. It actually means you lost.
Yeah.
Buddy of mine, Mike Watts, he sucks so bad at fishing, we named the skunk after him. We call it Wadded, right? But anyways, the rig is a little mojo rig. And basically what it is, it's a Carolina rig that you can work at any depth, okay? You got a little clam shot weight, leader anywhere from like 12 to 14, but it's just single line, there's no swivel, but that's kind of like your leader length from the weight to the hook, okay? And then the hook's important, all right? Mike's not a big hook setter, I'm not either, you know, I don't really jack them. And with a light line, you really don't want to do that. But this is a Mustad, all right?
Fine wire. Yeah,
it's the fine wire. Because normally we would run, or we used to run, just the standard wires on Mike's rig. And we realized that he wasn't going to catch any fish because he wasn't setting a hook. So these Mustad fine wires, they are so sticky sharp that, I mean, fish just breathe on it and they're hooked, right? So all you really need to do is let them take it, a little pressure, and the hook penetrates super easy. Even in the cold water right now when their jaw is tough and all that, these fine wire Mustad hooks penetrate so easy. And that's kind of really the key to this rig for Mike. Light wire hook. And like I said, gets her done, man. And I got a code for Mustad. I'll link them down below. Code TJ81 get you guys 20% off over there at Mustad. But yes, Cushy Bug, man, got her done.
See what I got that on there pretty perfect.
It is pretty perfect.
That's pretty perfect.
He was kind of bragging about that when we first got there. How perfect he rigged this. And I looked at it, I was like, Mike, that's upside down.
I was like, it's backwards.
I was like, it's upside down, Mike. You want to talk about, that's one of your new rods you picked up, right? You want to talk about your rig there?
Sure.
Little Bass Pro pickup. This is the Graphite series. And I tell you what, guys, you guys always ask for like an inexpensive combo. The Graphite series, it's what I started out with. They're like 30 bucks for like a casting rod. I don't know what they are now, this one's probably what more. I think it was like 50, 60 bucks.
Yes.
So they've gone up in price. But I do believe when I first started bass fishing and I was using these rods, they were around 30 bucks. But this is the Graphite series from Bass Pro.
Yeah.
Great option for the money.
Yeah, it's a medium heavy fast action.
6'6". 6'6", medium heavy, fast. He's got the Akuma, that's the SX on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 3,000 size reel. And I do believe this is
that's mono.
That's Seagar Cinchi. It's a discontinued mono is what we're running on there. And guys have said before about pinching the clam shots on your line. You know, sometimes you would think that would break your line or or pinch your line, it would break or at least create a weak spot there. With the mono, I think it kind of absorbs that, you know, you pinching it on there. We've never really had you break off before on that weight.
Nah, it's always at the knot.
Yeah. That's probably because you just tie a crappy knot, you know.
The knots I tied were beautiful.
He did tie a great knot today.
It was beautiful.
But anyways, guys, that should wrap it up. We talked about the fish catches, the gear and everything, you know. It should wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are new to the channel, me and Mike like to do this type of video. You know, we'll go fishing and all that, come home, talk about our experience, and just kind of run fish clips through the video. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you do, be sure to smash the thumbs up. Love you guys. We will see you guys on the next one.
Bye.